Growing up, one of my favorite dishes would be something cooked in a pot, like sukiyaki, because then we can share the food with my family, because I had the three brothers together and one sister. Then we cannot, put things in on the plates, but then it's nice to have them all in a pot so we can just eat it from there. Yeah, I had the beef and the vegetables of all kinds, anything, and then cook it, and then eat. Sauce was a raw egg. Put it in a bowl, and the raw egg you stir it, and then sukiyaki has shoyu, soy sauce already in it, so flavored. Just so dip it in this raw egg, and then ate it with the rice, hot rice. Yes. Of course, my mother would start up, and since I was the oldest daughter, I had to help out, and then make sure that the beef or the chicken inside will be equally distributed instead of my brother eating everything, and make sure that everybody got a similar share of food. And then because those days after the war, the food was scarce, and in fact, one of my brothers, was youngest brother, died of starvation because we didn't have food after the war. Yeah, and then my mother couldn't nurse the baby either. Then at that point, I was in the field. Wherever I could find plants, I used to bring home. And then my mother would look through the encyclopedia to check if we could eat it. It's not poisonous. And then so she could prepare in any way she could. So we had something to eat. Throughout my growing up, food is something very precious, and that we could not waste a bit of it. Yes. And then my mother, since my father was killed in the war, and then he was in the head of Navy supplies and so on, and clothing and food. But since he was killed in New Guinea, and we just got thrown out of our house, and we used to have 5, 6 maids. Of course, they are gone too. And then we had to live in a small house, and whatever we could find to eat, we ate. And then when my baby brother died, and the monk came from the temple to pray, and after he did his duty, my mother had to give him lunch, and our stomach was growling, and then but he didn't share the food with us, and then afterwards. He said that he'll come back in 3 months, because then the soul of my baby brother can go up in heaven. But my mother said, we have no food. I have no food to give to my children. And then this monk got mad and then said that your brother will go to hell. And then after that, I felt kind of disappointed with the temple, but right now I realize he was hungry too. And then I went to the grocery shop. They knew we were having trouble, so that the shop owners used to throw them the vegetables on the floor, because that means discarded, so I could pick them up. And then they are so sympathetic with us, because my father was kind of a ruler of the place, and suddenly he was gone and we had nothing. Yeah, but I'm so grateful that the neighbors helped us out. Yes, and the 6th grade, I went to my teacher's house as a maid, and then get up early in the morning to prepare breakfast for the 2 sons and the family. Yeah, they had 2 sons. Right after the war, it was a mess. Yeah, my mother tried to sell kimono, and then because she was wealthy before, so she had plenty of things, went to the countryside to trade her kimono with rice. On the way back, the military man on the train confiscated the rice from my mother, saying that you are acting in an illegal way. And it was a lie, but these men just wanted to steal the rice. It was a hard time, yeah.
It's amazing you made it through.
Yeah, I know. So she came home crying, we have nothing, so I had to go out and get something as an oldest daughter. everybody looked up at me, so I had to find something to eat. Yeah.
So how long did it take before you felt the relief that you were able to get better food?
Actually, by coming to this country, but yeah.
When did you come?
I have, after I finished elementary school, went into junior high school. I was very lucky because my mother negotiated, so I was at the university school, and then tuition was free, and then I studied hard. So I was able to go into Okayama University and then received the scholarship. And then I had to return the scholarship in money afterwards. But then, while I was able to get a teacher's certificate in biology, and then I got employed at the medical school as a research assistant. And while I was doing that, President Kennedy established East-West Center at the University of Hawaii, where he brought American students and Asian students together to mutual understanding. And I was selected as one of the candidates to come to this country. So I was very lucky, I feel, yes. Then, everything was available in this country. So, and then met my husband, who was teaching the geography of Japan. He said that if I didn't marry him, he would jump into the sea of Japan and kill himself. So I had to marry him. Yeah, of course, he likes things like sukiyaki, with the Japanese style. And then he asked me to entertain people. And then because graduate students used to come to our house, so I had to prepare something for them. The roast beef, the roast turkey, and anything that the American people, their students would like, I prepared.
Did you ever prepare Japanese food?
Oh yeah, for them, but then it's too cumbersome. Yeah. Roasting turkey will be easier. As long as I get rice, I'm happy.
Right.
And then, wartime experience when, I had nothing really made me feel humble. As long as I can eat, and I enjoy it. Anything, I like anything. I like osushi, mixed with vinegar and vegetables, yeah, and some eggs, shredded eggs, yeah. Whenever I have a leftover rice, cooked rice, I make onigiri and then put them in a freezer, so I can take them out anytime. Yeah, just a little bit of salt when I make onigiri, but then not too much, it's bad for you. Yeah, just to flavor it a little bit. Most of the time, I don't even use anything as it is, and then triangle to make it, and then simply wrap it in a plastic and put them in a freezer. Only after, defrosted, then I wrap in the nori, yes. Yeah, Japanese people cannot be separated from rice. And right now, in order to be with other people, I come here for during the lunchtime. So, yeah, as much as I can.